tiny. Look how small that is. Is the DJI Neo designed for creators who have never flown a drone before, but just want to take their video and photos to the next level without a lot of hassle? Or is the DJI Neo designed for experienced FPV pilots who want a sub 250 gram cinewhoop that they can fly in tight spaces and works with all the existing DJI gear? Well, the answer is yes. It's really designed for both. The DJI Neo is a brand new, tiny little cinewhoop style drone that is not only a selfie drone, but also a legit FPV drone that can be flown in acro with the latest DJI FPV gear, including the Goggles 3. It's palm-sized, meaning the size of a palm, right there. And at 135 grams, it is the lightest drone that DJI has ever made. And it doesn't require any sort of license to fly. You don't have to have any sort of registration. You don't have to have your 107 to fly it recreationally. It's designed for anybody who wants to learn to fly a drone, but just doesn't want all the hassle that comes with flying a drone. It's significantly lighter than the Avata series and the Mini series for that matter. It's just a tiny little cinewhoop style drone with ducted props. It really removes a lot of barriers for someone who wants to include drone footage in their creation of video and photos on a daily basis, but doesn't want to spend a lot of time learning how to fly a drone, registering a drone, and all that stuff. It's got a 4K 12 megapixel sensor camera that's designed to be flown without a controller or using your phone. You can fly it just hand launching it right out of your hand without using a controller at all. You can control it using your phone. You can control it using the RC-N3, which is coming out and will be available to buy with it. You can use the DJI RC Motion 3 and the Goggles 3, which allows you to do easy acro and head tracking. And finally, you can use the DJI FPV Controller along with the Goggles 3 to fly this thing in acro, do flips, power loops, all that kind of stuff that you would be able to do with any other acro quad. It also has some voice commands that you can give it, things like Droney and Helix and Rocket, that you can tell the app to do and it will actually do them. I haven't tried that yet, but I did try the voice recording where it records your narration when you talk into your phone. It actually records to the file on the drone. So you can actually narrate as you're flying the thing or as you're in a quick shot mode, walking around, talking about what's going on, and it captures that audio pretty clearly without the noise of the drone in it. Okay, I'm using follow right now. I'm talking into my phone. And I'm gonna see if it can pick up my audio through the phone. Don't know how loud you hear the drone right now, but it is following me. Now, when you're flying without a remote control, you typically take off with a hand launch. So you put your palm out flat and you push a button, or you push a button on your phone, or you tell it voice commands, and it takes off directly from your hand.
Rocket, 3, 2, 1.
It also lands directly on your hand. I was a little bit skeptical about how well it was going to do with that because, I have to trust the AI that's built into the thing to come back, be in the right spot, recognize that my hand is there and land, but it did it perfectly every time, even in some strong wind. It's got two little sensors on the bottom. I think those are what you call optical flow sensors, and those recognize when your hand is under it and immediately land on your hand. And because there's so much protection around the propellers, you're very safe to let it land on your hand, even if it's tilting a little bit in the wind. So to stabilize the footage, the Neo uses electronic image stabilization. It has 22 gigabytes of internal storage that the video, photos, and even the audio, if you're using that feature, are written to. It does not have an external slot for a micro SD card or anything like that, so you're limited to that 22 gigs, but if you're clearing it off pretty frequently, that's plenty of storage, even with some longer flights. Speaking of flights, the flight time is about 17 minutes maximum. You're probably gonna get 14, 13, something like that, depending on how windy it is and how aggressively you're flying it. The batteries are super lightweight, and there is a multi-charger you can get that allows you to charge 3 batteries at the same time. And by the same time, I don't mean in sequence. I mean you plug it in and all 3 batteries start charging. So your charge time is actually pretty quick with the batteries to get 3 of them up and running. So I highly recommend getting that combo where you get the extra batteries. So it's really designed to take with you on a hike or to a scenic place where you can take it out, get a quick shot of yourself, your group, your friends, whatever you want to do, and then put it right back into your bag or your pocket or whatever and go on your way. It's very, very quick and easy to get those kind of shots from a different perspective than you could with a normal camera. And that's sort of the point of it for the smaller creator who wants to add a drone to their arsenal. And as I said, there's no obstacle avoidance, so you want to make sure that you are keeping your eyes on it and keeping it in a big open area where you won't run into power lines or trees or buildings or walls or anything like that. It is fairly susceptible to wind in those situations, so you want to keep an eye out for that. And they recommend that you don't fly it near water because, you know, if you mess up over the water, it's pretty much going to be gone and soaked. So don't do that. But when you fly it with the Motion 3 or the FPV RC using goggles, it's a whole different story. You're going to have a lot greater range than you are using just your phone. You also have very, very precise control of it. It's so small that you can hit tiny little gaps. You can actually put it into acro mode or manual mode, as DJI calls it, and fly through really tight spots very, very precisely. The precision of this thing when there's no wind around is amazing. Now, if there is wind and you're flying, say, from an environment with no wind, like inside a boathouse, and then you come out the door and there's a gust of wind going across, you're gonna feel it a little bit. But if you are an experienced pilot or if you're practicing to be one, you'll get the hang of that. And if you're flying in normal mode, it really kind of compensates on its own. If you're flying in manual mode, you'll have to compensate a little bit. Just know that because it is so lightweight, the wind does push it around a little bit. It is rated to do fairly well in the wind, but you're gonna notice a difference between this and a heavier quad as far as the way it behaves in the wind. This is definitely pushed around more than a bigger, heavier quad would be. And again, in that FPV situation, if you flip it over to manual mode, which requires a couple of steps in the goggles, I'll make a video to explain how to do that. You can do flips, you can do rolls, you can do dives, you can hit tons of gaps, and it really is a ton of fun to fly in manual mode in a smaller space. It's especially nice because you can fly it in a tighter space. And because it's got the guards around the props, you don't really have to worry about hitting things like you might with a freestyle quad that doesn't have the guards around the propellers. So who's the DJI Neo for? Well, first of all, it's for any person who might not be a regular drone person, but wants to get a drone so they can take their creation of content, video, photos, etc., to the next level without a lot of learning curve. The DJI Neo is so simple, my mom could fly it. I'm gonna teach my mom how to fly it, actually. But it's also for experienced FPV pilots who want a small sub-250 cinewhoop style quadcopter that they can capture amazing video with and already works within the entire DJI FPV ecosystem, meaning that it works with the FPV Controller, the Goggles 3. I mean, it's just right out of the box. You're ready to fly it, and it's very lightweight, and therefore it's very rugged. Because it doesn't have a lot of mass, if you hit something, and I have already crashed it several times, it does just fine as long as you don't land in water, just land in some grass. I think it would even take a drop onto cement if it didn't fall from too high. So keep that in mind. This is gonna be a versatile, easy to fly little FPV quad, but for something that you can just flip into your bag and have as a fun little quad to fly in tight spaces, the Neo really hits the nail on the head, and I'm excited to take this to a lot of places and use it, especially indoors. I think it's gonna be a fun little quad to fly indoors. And really one of the best parts about it is the price. It's $199 for just the quad and a battery. And with that, if you already have some of the DJI controllers and goggles or the Motion 3, you'll be able to fly it right out of the box for 199 bucks. The next step up is 289 US dollars. That gets you everything I talked about before, the quad, one battery, and then you get 2 more batteries plus the triple charger. So that gives you the ability to have 3 batteries that are charging all the time and a lot more flight time out of it. And finally, they're gonna have an offering for $349 that gets you the Neo, also the extra 2 batteries, the triple charger, and the new controller that's gonna allow you to fly this with your phone on top, kind of like you would a camera drone. But if you already own one of the FPV controllers or the Motion 3 or the Goggles 3, I think this would be a no-brainer just to get one of these along with 2 extra batteries, because you're gonna be able to fly some really fun FPV stuff in small, tight spaces, indoors, and then you can take it along as a selfie drone if you're not flying FPV. It's got so much versatility. I'm just blown away by the fact that it is so good for so many people. So let us know what you think about the DJI Neo. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you think you're gonna get one. Let me know if you wanna use it as a selfie/camera drone for creating, for vlogging, stuff like that. Or if you're more interested in flying at FPV, either in normal mode or switching over to manual and learning how to do that. It's good for all of those things, and it's sub $250, so you don't have to register it. And this is definitely an example of a low-cost entry FPV/selfie drone combo. I never thought I'd say those words together that DJI has made. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the Neo. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Ready, Set, Drone.